Today we're going back into the chaotic and weirdly wholesome world of fallen billionaires. Come on, of course, we're talking about Schitt's Creek. It looks like its star-studded cast is continuing to make waves in Hollywood, as our beloved Emily Hampshire or the iconic Stevie is set to play in an upcoming thriller, and couldn't be more proud. Also, if you want to know why we fell for such a messy sitcom, let's get into it. First up, Hampshire's coming back to our big screens. Well, we'll definitely see her playing someone different from the sarcastic motel receptionist we know and love. That's right, Hampshire is going to appear in Caitlin Cronenberg's directorial debut film, Humane, which according to Deadline has already wrapped filming. So for once, we shouldn't have to wait too long until we can watch Emily's powerful performance. Cause come on, if you're part of our beautifully dramatic fan base, y'all know she'll do fantastic.
Did I try and make out with you? Good.
And what's more, Hampshire's starring in this environment-themed thriller alongside Hollywood's up-and-coming. We're talking about Baruchel from This Is the End. And if that dynamite didn't excite you enough, Gracie and Frankie's Peter Gallagher will also be joining the adventure. Now, we don't know about you, but just this main cast has got us hyped up. And if you've been MIA for the past few years, let us remind y'all how skilled these actors and actresses are. Like Gallagher needs no introduction. Hopefully, he's a Hollywood alumnus who may be for the new generation. At least you should know him from the OC. If not, trust us, you've got at least one plan for the weekend. But let's not forget, she'll also share the screen along with Sirena Gulamgaus from Transplant and Sebastian Chacon from Emergency. But of course, this cast keeps on getting better with the Queen, Alanna Bale from Cardinal. We swear anyone will be able to hear our very excited screams as we go to the theater and catch this. Next up, what is this thriller gonna be about? Well, we're here to answer these types of questions for y'all. And get ready, we've got all the juicy updates. To start with, Humane is set only months after Earth goes through yet another environmental disaster. And at this point, that kind of seems like another Tuesday for us. Still, in this dystopian future, world leaders have taken drastic measures to reduce global population because it'd always take a hard slap to the face to wake you up. Hey, you see the recent celebrations for Earth's population reaching 8 billion people? There's no way that's gonna have bad effects. Still, coming back to this commentary, we mean movie. The story is about only one day in the daily lives of one rich family and all the shenanigans they can probably still get up to. Sorry if you couldn't tell, we're a little bitter. Well, just another reason we gotta watch this film. But if that's not enough for any of you, well, we've got more deets. See, the retired head of the family gathers his 4 adult children and tells them he wants to volunteer for a new mercy killing program. Now, you could probably imagine how well his kids would take that idea. So, of course, his plan backfires, causing high tensions and fighting among his children. Like, imagine we're at this stage where we've messed the Earth up. How could anyone really understand just how much that'll affect our relations and everything we know of ourselves? Intriguing, no? Following that, Cronenberg's praise for the script. Believe us, we're not alone in appreciating how appropriate and unique this script is. Cronenberg said that after reading the script, which is by Michael Sparega from Victory Man Productions, she knew she had to make the film. If we can be even more dramatic for a sec, the art called to her, and honestly, that's completely valid. She added that, from the first read, Michael's script's all-too-real dystopian world left her breathless, and even with the synopsis, we get it. Also, she immediately knew that she had to be the one that made this movie. Take on the task, and again, the piece called to her. Look, we're not wrong here. And when asked about her cast and crew, the director smiled as she said that they'd been blessed to have the people they did on this project. And that in itself makes us even more hopeful for this movie, cause, you know, if there's a fire inside your house, it's only gonna spread unless you douse it from within. Yes, we did take that inspo from the new Black Panther movie. Fight us. What's more, you know the love is real when the director continues to say that the talents on set make us anticipate the release of this film, cause they poured their hearts into it. So it's just a matter of a little more patience on our part until we can hopefully find another reason why going to the cinema awakens some passion in our hearts. Up next, Schitt's Creek Evolution. Look, you know we hold this chaotic mess near and dear to our hearts. And like many people in this fandom, we'll be honest, it was a slow grower. But there was a point when everything changed, not only for the Roses, but also for us, the unexpected but pleased fans. Cause see, See, if there's one thing a strong, long-running sitcom needs, it's a good emotional punch to its fandom, where they realize that these characters are just trying to make their parts of the world a bit brighter, as they've been through it, like us. And for Schitt's Creek, it had already created itself to be one of the most iconic sitcoms. But even during that, there was a period when it was nothing more than another funny take on rich people, and dealing with the shocking loss of all their money. You know, basically what can happen on most Saturdays for us. But okay, either way, this was kind of the entire fun of the first 2 seasons, as we saw how this snobbish family handled themselves in a world they never had to face before, due to their wealth. Drum roll please. This was a life spent in a motel with electricity, a good receptionist, and Moira's infinite collection of wigs. Look, for their fall from grace, they could have landed in much worse. Still, we'll happily admit that the initial idea was still hilarious, but eventually the show had to evolve before our heads started hurting, and thankfully it did. Let's talk about the season 2 finale. Cause yup, if you managed to guess that, this was the point in our show where the way we saw these characters and their lives just changed. If you don't remember, let's jog your memory a bit. This was when Johnny and Moira ran into their old friends from when they were all rich. And though the duo, of course, almost immediately began to roast Schitt's Creek and its locals, cause you know, they were snobs. And unfortunately, where Moira and Johnny probably were before they lost their entitlement or money. So though the Roses knew this was the norm of their class, for some insane reason, by that point, something had changed. And they realized that these friends reached out to help shade the place where their family had found its new home. Now tell us, where's the sense in calling these people friends anymore? That's right, there is none. And the fact that the Roses were willing to cut that made-up tie was an incredible character development moment. But what was even more heartwarming was when they joined their children at Mutt's house, and danced under very cinematic lighting, we must say. So of course the direction spoke for itself. This was the beginning of something new, something they've accepted. But if you needed some more proof than Moira and Johnny meant their actions, they even finally told David and Alexis how much they love them. Trust us, even though they're the parents here, we were crying because of it. Lastly, how that episode made us understand the show. We get it. Some of you are saying, hey, that's a pretty simple scene. How could it really have that much of an impact? Well, to you, we'd say, yeah, it's an incredibly straightforward part, but up to that point, we'd just been building and building between Moira and Johnny, deciding who they were and who they were going to be. And somehow, we'd gotten interested enough that this decision mattered, telling many of us whether we would want to watch the show going forward. So we're sure that many fans would agree this set the tone for the entire series. The Snob family growing and starting to learn to appreciate the little things in life, while also realizing what is truly important to them, becoming more and more human, but with very unique accents. And believe us, this allowed the characters to really start questioning how they behaved in their lives before this town. It became a sort of live-in therapy, and we were all there for it. Trust us on that, the show ran from 2015 to 2020. We were addicted, and even now it holds a weirdly special place in our hearts. That's a wrap for this video. Tell us what you think of Hampshire's new role in Humane. And come on, isn't the script exciting? Or are you gonna need to watch it first and make the decision? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.